Hey everybody, welcome to Movie Time. I'm Sean. So Jet Lucas announced in an interview that his father, George Lucas, is working very closely with J.J. Abrams on Star Wars Episode 7. George had already had like an outline of where the Star Wars movies were going, and because of this, he's having a little trouble, letting it go completely. But this is, it's a good way of letting it go, because he's letting it go little by little. JJ's getting a little bit more, control over what's going on, but he's still having some input from George Lucas. This is really cool. Jet in the interview also said that he already knows what's going on, and just like, this is really good information. Now, as far as how truthful it is, it could be his son, George Lucas' son Jet, just mouthing off. But at the same time, if it is all true, it's pretty awesome, because this really gives us, something to go off of for these next three movies. That George Lucas is going to have his hand in them in some way, and JJ is going to have a major control, but still, going to have someone help prop him up, help him get to know the series, the universe. So this is really good news. I really like this news. So the Wolverine was a really good movie. It was a big hit, made lots of money, and they're actually going to be coming out with the DVD Blu-ray pretty soon. It's been announced that the DVD and Blu-ray is going to come out in an unrated extended cut. They are going to show more graphic, violence in this extended cut, unrated cut. They're going to show, more storyline, things they cut out. I'm really excited about this because I want to see this movie, really go into it. Now, if they were to do this in a true unrated, and let it go past an R rating and really show Wolverine like slicing and dicing and berserker rage, that would be awesome. So I really hope that they add some of that in there, because the movie was really, really good. The downfall that I thought that it had in the last, act of the movie was when he got to the town. They showed all this stuff in the trailers, but then they didn't follow through with it when he got to that town. So I hope that they can change that a little bit. Hopefully this is kind of like the director's cut. Hopefully it's something along those lines like what Daredevil did back in the day and made it a better movie. Hopefully that can be fixed in this one, in this case. Show Wolverine going crazy and just be, amp up the action, to the nth degree. You know what I mean? So I'm really, really excited for this one. I can't wait till it comes out later on this year. Talking about Wolverine and the X-Men and everything like that, Peter Dinklage, he'll be playing Bolivar Trask in X-Men Days of Future Past. He also has some news of another upcoming movie he's going to be in. It's going to be in the vein of Bad Santa from about 10 years ago. It's going to be in that kind of vein, that really gritty comedy. And it's going to be R-rated, and he's going to be playing a guy who says he's a leprechaun, goes around saying he's a leprechaun. This sounds really interesting. I remember Dinklage from a lot of comedic roles before he started doing the Game of Thrones thing, before he started doing some of these more serious roles that he's been doing lately. And I mean, he has that ability to pull off this type of comedy, and I'm really excited about this movie, and I want to see him get back to some of that stuff that I originally saw him in before the serious stuff. So I'm really excited about this one as well. Now, this next piece of news is not really about somebody going back to what they used to do, but it's about Michael Bay going into something that he hasn't done yet. He has said that he's always wanted to do a horror movie. He could see himself doing a self-funded horror movie, and he really wants to do this. He really wants to get into this genre and see what it's all about. I really think that he'd be a really good fit for this genre. He knows how to make something that's this big into something spectacle, something spectacular, that's huge, way more than what it should be. And I think in a horror movie, in the right circumstances, he would make certain scenes and certain of those scary moments, or those stressful moments, those thriller type, those scenes. I think that he could make those into something so huge that it's really going to knock some people's socks off. So I really have faith in him. If he were to actually go into this, I would really be looking forward to whatever he does. He's also doing the new Transformers movie. In the new Transformers movie, they got Dinobots, they got a few of the holdovers, Optimus Prime. So some images were released of the new design of Optimus Prime. This Optimus Prime, I really like it. It doesn't look too much like an overhaul, like it doesn't look too distorted or changed in any ways that are going to make it less like what a traditional Optimus Prime would look like. It looks really good to me, and it makes me pretty happy. this movie, it looks like it's going to be cool. I mean, some of the set photos they've shown of, Mark Wahlberg, his daughter, and the daughter's boyfriend, or, the whole story, I'm really interested in seeing what it's about. I can't wait to find out more information. And just by seeing this picture, it gets me really excited to see what the other Dinobots and the Autobots look like. I definitely want to see what the new Bumblebee looks like with the new, see if they modify the Camaro a little bit, and see what else, these other Autobots look like and Dinobots look like. So Martin Scorsese's new movie, Wolf of Wall Street, is going to be delayed for a little bit. They've been working diligently on this. The trailer came out a while back, and it was a great trailer. Got me really excited for this. Got a lot of people, amped up for this movie. It was originally going to come out in November. They had to push it back. Now it looks like it's going to be a December 25th Christmas launch. This is going to affect a couple other movies that are coming out from the same production company, but he's working very hard at trying to get everything edited in, everything completed, so this movie can make that release date. I really hope it does, because I really want it to be in the Oscar season. The cutoff is sometime in December, and if it can make that, it has a chance of winning a couple Oscars, or at least getting some nominations, because it looks great. It looks fabulous. So we'll talk a little bit more about those other movies that I might be pushing back a little later. So I saw some trailers and some TV spots this week. On the Marvel YouTube page, they actually put out a TV spot and a new featurette. The TV spot shows some new footage that we haven't seen just yet, and the featurette talks, it's Loki, Tom Hiddleston, talking about his character and what's going on. Check them out. They're really cool and really informative. I can't wait till this movie comes out. I'm actually probably going to be doing another special edition of the Movie Time show the weekend I see it with my guest star Jesse again. So stay tuned for that. We'll put that up when that comes out. I'm really excited about that. Another trailer I saw that it interests me. Not as much as some of these other not as much as the Thor trailer, but I, Frankenstein, starring Aaron Eckhart. He's playing a Frankenstein who's been around for hundreds of years, and he's pretty much got to save the world from gargoyles and whatnot. It looks pretty cool. It looks like it's gonna be an action movie, kind of in the vein of Van Helsing. So that interests me, but I don't know how good it's gonna be, because they haven't shown much of the deep acting roots of this whole movie. It's a lot of it's in the trailer's action. Another movie is The Monuments Men, starring Matt Damon, George Clooney, John Goodman, Bill Murray. It looks like it's going to be really good. I'm really excited about this one. It's good to see Bill Murray back in films. I love John Goodman. John Goodman is one of the most underrated actors I've ever seen in my life. I love him. He's a great actor. And then Matt Damon and George Clooney have a nice charm, a nice chemistry with them as well. So I'm really excited about that one. Can't wait till that one comes out. All these links to the trailers down below. The movie that I talked about earlier about Wolf of Wall Street, affecting possibly with that move, would be Jack Ryan, the new Jack Ryan movie starring Chris Pine. This one, the trailer just came out this past week. I saw it. I really like it. It looks really interesting. I remember some of the older Jack Ryan stuff with Harrison Ford and Ben Affleck, and I've always been interested in them, and this one looks really cool. Kevin Costner's in here. It looks like Keira Knightley, I think. I always forget her name whenever I see her face. Keira Knightley's in there. Chris Pine's star role, Jack Ryan. It looks pretty interesting. It looks almost like a mix of kind of like a James Bond and a Bourne Identity kind of thing. The differences between very suits and ties, spy, traditional that the Bond film has been, and very new age like the Bourne film has been. So it looks like it's somewhere in there, and a mix of those two, and it looks like it's going to be really fun. So I'm really excited about all those trailers. Can't wait till they come out and get more information about those. In theaters this week, we got two movies. You got Machete Kills, and you have Captain Phillips. I've been really excited about Captain Phillips. Tom Hanks is going to rule the box office in this next coming year. You got Captain Phillips for him, and you also have Saving Mr. Banks. I'm excited about both of those movies. Tom Hanks is a great actor. I'm really excited about Captain Phillips, regardless of what all the stuff going on around this movie regarding the real Captain Phillips and all the lawsuits and everything. I'm still excited about this movie. And Machete Kills, like I said, this movie has been picking up in my mind, and I'm really excited about this one coming out today as well. I hope to see it, and I can't wait to see what Charlie Sheen does in here, or should I say Carlos Estevez. Really to see what Alexa Vega is doing in here. All these people. I'm really excited about this movie. So now time for Movie of the Week. As I said, this month is the month of horror. So this week, I decided to watch Halloween, the original. I've never seen this movie before, sadly, and I finally got my mitts on this thing, and I actually really liked it. It's in the horror section, but because it was made so long ago compared to nowadays, like these current horror movies, I feel like it almost doesn't fit in the horror genre. In the whole movie, he kills, I think, 4 people, and they're very subdued kills. Nowadays, we're used to very violent, very flashy, very crazy and a lot more kills in these horror movies these days. So this aspect of the movie kind of like it took me away from that horror genre for a second, and it was almost like I was watching like a thriller, I guess you could say. I love the character Dr. Loomis. For some reason, I just really thought that I think his name is Pleasance. He did a great job as Dr. Loomis. For some reason, I thought he was the best acted character in the whole film. I didn't think that he could have done it better. I thought he did a great job. Jamie Lee Curtis, I don't know if this was her first film, but I liked her, and at some parts she was very believable in her character as a high school teenager, playing the dull but smart, and having a side job of babysitting and the damsel in distress. She did a really good job at times, and at other times she seemed to lose that charm when she was interacting with other people. Sometimes it would go up and go down. Very up and down performance by her. But overall, I mean, she did a good job. Michael Myers, I don't know what to say about this guy, about this character. Kills his sister with the gratuitous boob shot, of course. He goes to a mental hospital for 15 years. He's 21, and I don't understand how a mental hospital can just have the dude dancing around on the grass in the front yard. Maybe because I'm used to movies nowadays having more substance to them, I think, and that might not be the right word usage, but I feel like there's a lot more plot in some movies these days than there are in those old days back in the 70s and 80s. I feel like some of these movies, they look for like a simple like unlocked door, and that's how the dude escapes from the mental hospital. Like, is that serious? Like, that's how he escapes? The dude was dancing around in the grass, it looked like, when they'd come up to the hospital, and then all he does is grab the girl's face, and then she of course jumps out of the car like an idiot. So this is one of those tropes that I was talking about in horror movies that they talk about in Scream. Like, one of those things that you're like, in real life you wouldn't do this, but in the movies and horror movies they always do it. Overall, I saw this happen in the movie multiple times, but it wasn't overwhelming. It didn't take me out of watching the film. I was able to continue watching the film and not pay attention to them too much. So like I said, overall I definitely like the film. I don't think it kind of goes with today's horror movies. In that age, in the 70s, 80s, those 90s movies, I think it definitely goes to those movies, those older movies. But today's horror, I don't know if it really falls in with them. But for that time, I definitely think it was a pretty good movie. Didn't scare me, but I look forward to seeing more of the Halloween movies and seeing where it goes. Because, spoiler alert, as you know, he gets away in the first movie after falling from a second floor. So, I mean, dude has like some weird healing factor of strength or something. Oh, that's another thing I wanted to talk about. Is this movie supposed to be straight slasher, or is this movie supposed to be some kind of supernatural poltergeist kind of thing? Because Dr. Loomis is saying that it's the devil that's in him because all he sees is black in his eyes. And if this was not something like that, I don't see how dude can survive from, I think it was 5 shots straight to the chest, and the first shot almost looked like got him in the head. And so, I mean, he got shot a bunch of times and fell off the second floor straight onto his back. So I wonder if there's some other part in further along the line of the Halloween movies where they're going to answer some of these things that I'm thinking about right now, about whether is it supernatural, is he some kind of demonic, or is it just like he has some super strength from whatever's happened to him in life. But anyway, so that's it for Movie of the Week, guys, and that's it for Movie Time. Remember to click the like, share, subscribe buttons down below. Leave your comments, questions, inquiries, ideas for Movie of the Week. I'll let you guys know right now, next week I'm going to be doing Carrie, the original Carrie, and in hopes of watching that movie, I can then watch the new Carrie coming out next week. So hopefully, that turns out to be pretty good. We'll see what I have to say about that next week. So anyway, that's it for Movie Time, guys. Let's have a great conversation this week, and we'll see you next time.